yeah, we all know the Earth's climate is changing. It's causing average temperatures to rise, leading to harsh chronic weather conditions such as heat waves, floods, and droughts. And of course, this is affecting winemakers because their crops are susceptible to temperature-wise and natural weather events, and they don't really have much reprieve or recourse. So the wine industry as a whole needs to take a stance to ensure a sustainable future, and a net zero scope 1 and 2 emissions target has been set by the Australian Wine Growers Organisation to be completed by 2035. And emissions data is sorely needed from wine growers and vineyards to reach goals, set further goals, and provide advice to growers. Our intervention for the challenge question, how can we leverage behavioural insights to motivate wine and grape producers to voluntarily share their business emissions data, will focus on increasing the value add to those that share their emissions data with Wine Australia. The report generated from the emissions data in the form of benchmarks will empower wine growers and producers by providing them with advice on how to reduce emissions through the lens of creating financial savings. Those within the wine industry face several barriers when it comes to reporting their emissions data. To create a relevant and salient solution, we must first understand the market and its barriers, and we must segment them into 2 smaller groups to understand them better. The first segment includes those who are interested in data and are motivated by climate change, but have other barriers such as time constraints, as the current messaging and reporting system is not suited to their needs. This segment requires a solution which is simplified and allows them to complete their data sharing at a time that is convenient to them. The second section are predominantly growers who don't understand or don't care about climate change. It doesn't align with their values. And they might not be computer savvy or understand technical language used. This segment requires a solution which focuses on additional motivations and value add-ons, which can be achieved by adjusting the language in the questionnaire to allow for greater comprehension. To combat these barriers and find a unique solution for this challenge, we have included a 3-step approach, which is 1, communicating the changes to everyone in Sustainable Wine Growing Australia's database, including contacts, members, and those who are certified. 2, adjusting the data that we collect to better leverage this for value adding. And 3, generating a report which includes tips on how to reduce emissions in areas that are higher than the benchmark, ultimately leading to more savings in wine growers and producers' pockets. Okay.
So the first step in our nudge is we understand there are processes that the processes may have caused some barriers. Members have been given up on reporting their data, or at the very least had to have positive feelings towards the current process. To notify contacts that changes have been made, an email through our database system outlining the benefits of reporting emissions to members can be made. This communication tactic has a track record of performing well, as Sustainable Wine Australia have a positive engagement and are viewed with authority from their members. This email will highlight the changes that we're going to go over in the rest of our presentation, hopefully regaining trust in the process and outlining the value that reporting has for all wine growers and producers. This email will also feature a call to action link to allow readers to begin reporting their data in real time via a new data collection system, which will include a link to Getting Prepared, a short email series which has already been developed to showcase the requirements and the benefits of sustainability and the membership through Wine Australia. The incentive of greater financial performance and joining a community of low emitters by practicing sustainability will be focused on, as it is highly relevant and an effective motivator. This information about emissions and changes to the process will also be communicated at the wine industry trade events to reach those who are unaware of sustainable wine growing Australia. Step 2 is the data collection process. Currently, in order to become a member, wine growers and producers must complete a lengthy technical questionnaire and workbook, with certified members requiring this to be audited by a third party. These questions can sometimes be a bit too technical in language, and sometimes some questions may be irrelevant to the businesses depending on their size and whether they're a grower or producer. With our nudge, prior to starting the current questions, participants will be asked questions about their business, including staff and their outputs, and whether they're a grower or producer. This will filter businesses, allowing any relevant questions to be removed and for participants to also be benchmarked against similar-sized businesses later on. The feedback regarding the questions can also be provided anonymously by the members by a range of growers and producers within the Sustainable Wine Australia network. To ensure that this can be comprehended within a range of technical understanding and different business types. We also recommend implementing a database and notification system for emissions data, which can be accessed throughout the financial year and can be provided with notifications set at predetermined times and when critical information is expected to come through or when the information is missing. This can be submitted officially when the reporting period comes around via the system through a click of a button. This would break the process down into gathering data in shorter tasks throughout the year rather than making the reporting process a big daunting task, making it a bit smaller and simpler for when the reporting time comes around, all this information is prepared in one spot. This would also help reducing a last-minute presentation. The next step is the benchmark section.
After submitting the workbook and allowing the research team to analyze the data, a benchmark report will be provided to the participants. Currently, the report displays the members' performance at both regional and national level. However, these benchmarking reports do not provide feedback or resources on reducing your impact through emissions, water, and/or fuel usage. Reducing these emissions can have additional benefits, namely protecting your environment, saving your industry, increase sustainable practices, and most importantly, reducing unnecessary costs. For this solution, each benchmark report will list possible causes for results that are higher than average, as well as advice from research conducted in the field linked to reputable sources such as industry experts and case studies from other wine growers in order for us to relate to them and for them to feel understood. To measure feasibility, we're utilizing SMART objectives. Our nudge is specific, as it is increasing the number of growers and producers that report their emissions more than the previous financial year by increasing the value add that this action will have on them directly. This nudge is also measurable through a metric of an increase of persons reporting their data. We believe that through implementing this series of nudges, this objective is achievable. It remains relevant to the challenge and larger goal to reduce emissions to net zero by 2035. This nudge is also timely, as the email which allows for this nudge will be sent as soon as the participants are able to respond to upload their evidence in real time. We also recommend including an open feedback loop for those who complete the workbook to ensure that there are continuous improvements being made to this workbook to improve the quality of the benchmarking report, and that is providing value to the participants. And now to summarize our presentation.
Alrighty, you still with us? Cool. So in relation to the challenge question, how can we leverage behavioural insights to motivate wine and grape producers to voluntarily share their business emissions data? Our nudge provides a solution which addresses barriers from the two main segment groups, allowing it to remain relevant and prominent. It creates additional value for those that participate in reporting, therefore providing extra motivations or incentives to complete the reporting. Our solution is communicated in an effective manner to the contacts in a timely fashion. This then restores trust in the system and conveys the additional value provided in the report. So this value is added through asking additional questions to provide effective benchmarking for changes, whilst also allowing for ease of comprehension regardless of your educational level. The reporting can now be completed at a time that is convenient for you, allowing for those that are time poor to report with ease. Finally, this solution will provide participants with direct value through the tips included for reducing emissions, with the key message for those hesitant to report being that we will assist you in reducing costs. So the nudge has been evaluated against the SMART framework and was found to be effective. We would also recommend the open feedback loop to be implemented to maintain effectiveness. So, are you ready to join out your fellow growers and sharing your emissions data?